Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, and welcome to Knowledge Talks, a weekly entertainment program aired live specifically to share with you topics that contribute knowledge to the society. News, interviews with guests, tips, question and answer session, and yes, knowledge topics will be shared with you throughout the program. Of course, if time permits during the hour, and yes, every week this will alternate. Some week we say we're going to have some news, some interviews, some tips, question and answer session, but objectively, ladies and gentlemen, is knowledge will be shared. This program, ladies and gentlemen, is a weekly session that I will have with you every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. I'm your host Tariq al-barwani, along with our studio engineer DJ Ayub, for an hour bringing you free knowledge at your doorsteps on Oman Radio FM 90.4. Okay, stay tuned after this music break for today's knowledge topic. Welcome back to Knowledge Talks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host Tariq al-barwani, along with our studio engineer DJ Ayub, with you here live today on Oman FM 90.4. The number of female entrepreneurs who juggle work and look after their children is growing fast. Mumpreneur is the term that defines mums that do the business. Now, who can explain this better than a practitioner herself who started with a passion in IT to events and catering business at home today? My guest today, ladies and gentlemen, is Ilhaam Al Maskery, who will share with us about the term mumpreneur and also have this shared as an application with her home business, Illy's Kitchenette. Ilham is a lecturer in petroleum and chemical engineering in higher education institution. Ilham is actively involved in presenting and facilitating career awareness and branding workshops. She is passionate about customizing and implementing various teaching models to cater to students of different learning backgrounds. Ilham's most challenging and rewarding degree is the motherhood. She's a mother of 2 boys and a mother of a home business. In fact, in 2011, she entered the world of Mumprenurship. And today, Ilham is all geared to share with us about the Mumprenurship as a practice and practice the experience that will be taught to you. Ilham, how are you doing today? And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And thank you, Tariq, for hosting me here. Indeed, it is a pleasure.
No, thank you, Ilham, for taking your time, your precious time to come to Oman Radio FM today to share your knowledge about Mumprenurship. In fact, Ilham, I don't know whether you remember, 10 years ago, we're talking about 10 years ago, you are actually in the studio and you actually had an interview about one of your projects, which was Oman Classifieds. It was an online portal where people can buy and sell things and look at the vast of items that are available online, and that was fantastic. It was 10 years ago. Don't know whether you remember that, but that's you're back again, Ilham. You're back again. Today's topic is about Mumprenurship. But before we start, Ilham, could you please share about your life and achievement journey to our listeners today?
Well, you pretty much introduced me there, Tariq. Professionally, I am a chemical engineer. I lecture in a college. Okay. I initiated my career in academia, okay. And I am involved in different activities in a higher academic institution, ranging from lecturing in the engineering field, being actively involved in some quality assurance activity, developing, presenting career awareness and branding identity workshops, also involved in some program development as well, and I have a passion for trying to explore different teaching methods to cater for different student learning backgrounds.
Okay.
I think one of my personal achievements, which are very close to heart to me, was the initiative I introduced called the Project Without Border initiative.
Okay.
It is basically based on a model, a teaching model known as the flipped classroom.
Okay.
And I invite anybody interested to just Google that up. Having said that, the outcomes of this initiative was very rewarding, seeing some of my students who were maybe struggling with the subjects, or repeating the subject more than once, finally having a chance to demonstrate their understanding in more alternative modern means, and to potential employers, and being offered jobs even before graduation. So that was a personal achievement I carry at heart, and I would like to share.
Okay. But looking good, we go one step back. You're being very modest, Ilham. Come on. I mean, Ilham, I have known you for many years, mashallah, and you've been involved in many activities. Talking about for example, personally, I know about you were doing a lot of very creative photos, very creative arts, mashallah. I remember. And also, one of the things that I know personally is the Oman Classifieds. Come on, at that time, Oman Classifieds, people did not have even sites about classifieds. People had classifieds in the newspapers, in the print, but you had it online, and that was an amazing thing. Anyway, but I'll leave that. But mashallah, you're being very modest. Going a step back on the flipped classroom, this is a model you created for the students, right?
No, it is a model which already exists, and it is implemented at different levels and different academic settings. I will spare you the details. I think that is a topic of its own. But having said that, the idea here is to encourage, I encourage all educators to continue to explore different teaching methods, and to not to give up on a student. I mean, I believe every student has his own way of learning, and it's just about catering to that need. Okay. And eventually it's a very rewarding experience, and I think that is the duty of an educator.
Okay, mashallah, that's very good. And people to know more about it, they can Google about it, right?
Yes, they could. There's plenty of information on the internet.
Okay, plenty of information internet. And then what should be the keyword that they should use on the internet to search for the model?
This particular one is called the flipped classroom.
The flipped classroom.
It's based on the concept of flipping the classrooms. Instead of the lecturer being the one giving the lecture, things are kind of flipped, and the students are really educating each other, whereby the lecturer is facilitating the education process.
I actually like that, Ilham. Is it something that is done today in Oman? Because I think this model is very good, because instead of having the traditional way of teaching, this kind of sound a little bit of creative, to be honest, mashallah, because you sort of flip the way of teaching, and then having the students engage with each other. I think that's really the objective, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, but none of the schools in Oman are doing it so far?
No, I wouldn't know, but I would say different educators, lecturers, teachers practice it at different levels they are comfortable with or familiar with. I wouldn't imagine it is like a protocol, of any academic institution in that sense. It's just something you based on how passionate you are about what you do, you would personally go out of your way to try and
that is for the educators, rather than following the normal norms. I mean, the normal way of doing things.
We call it the chalk and talk.
And that's what creativity is all about. That's what creates, creative students as well. That's what create leaders as well. I think I like that, Ilham. Ilham, our topic today is about Mumprenurship. Now, this term, honestly, I have learned it from you. I mean, I've always knew about entrepreneurship, and it's the term of the era right now. But could you tell us about the Mumprenurship? What is this? What does the term mean?
The term Mumprenurship is a relatively new phenomena for an old concept. It is basically used to identify mothers who have also taken on the role of an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And now there are many reasons why some women choose to become mompreneurs, and I would say that ranges from choosing to not miss out on the first years of your little ones, having an income, capitalizing on your talents, being productive and staying connected with the wider community, and in some cases, probably this person was an entrepreneur before motherhood,
Okay.
as it is. So it's just continuing.
Okay. Would it if you don't mind me just clarifying what you said very, very well, it's like mothers at home who have just have their babies, and then they would also like to continue being in the business, but rather than going to the office, they do the business at home. Would that sound like the right definition for mompreneurship, as an entrepreneur at home but done with mothers?
I wouldn't restrict it to being done at home. Like, to be a mompreneur, it doesn't necessarily have to be home-based. But however, it does categorize you as a mother, and that is that comes with its own challenges and implications and rewards.
Okay. Tell us about let's look at the challenges of being a mompreneur.
I think one of the most obvious challenges is balancing the business, motherhood, marriagehood, and other social demands.
Okay.
Also, I feel that physical involvement and presence in certain activities may be restricted, thus delaying the expansion or the growth of the business, or pausing certain activities.
Okay.
Just to give an example would be, for example, if a particular activity demands a lot of my time to be away somewhere, attending to that, and I have a baby, an infant to deal with, then physically there is that restriction in that sense. So that's just to give an example.
Yeah. So that's one of the challenges of becoming a mompreneur. But let's look then at the benefits of mompreneur. What are the benefits of mompreneur? I think one obvious thing is that you're at home. One of the things is you being at home. I think that's one of the benefits. But what other things you see could be benefits of being a mompreneur? Yeah. So for example, I know as you've mentioned, of course you're going to be at home, you're going to be with your kids, and that's a good thing. And then you will not lose the touch being also with your family. That's the good thing of it. And the challenges, of course, as you said, is juggling between the two, right? You are a mompreneur, Ilham, and we're going to take a quick break before we continue our session today. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tariq al-barwani along with our studio engineer DJ Ayub with you here at Knowledge Talks. Our program or our interview today is about mompreneurship, and we have Ilhaam Al Maskery, who is an mompreneur herself, of course, and she's here to share with us about the benefits, the definition itself, and also the challenges that are into the definition of mompreneurship. Before the music break, Ilham, we talked about the challenges of the mompreneurship. What can you speak about solutions or ways to overcome these challenges? Could you please share with us some of the things so the mompreneurs or the mompreneurs wannabe, inshallah, fi Oman and in Oman would learn from you, Ilham?
Okay, sure. Well, I will speak from my own personal experience, bearing in mind that, I mean, some solutions would work for some people and not for the others. With respect to balancing your time and the different hats you wear, I would say having an efficient time management system, designing a schedule, and this, I mean, you can tweak the schedule as your circumstances change.
Okay. Do you see this applying the same thing to men as well? Because I mean, the challenges of running a business, it could apply to both, right? To male and female, the same thing.
Yes. I mean, well, and sometimes there's certain, motherly tasks, so, which are expected from a woman in that sense, and domestic responsibilities as well.
Yeah.
And I would say to avoid excessive multitasking.
Yeah.
And to accept the support from your surroundings.
Okay.
Because I mean, we look at most businesses in the end of the day, one of their key growth factors is outsourcing and collaboration. So
Yeah.
it's okay to ask for that help and to take that support. And I consider myself it's a very advantageous situation
Alhamdulillah.
in that sense, with having all the family support around me.
Alhamdulillah.
Also, yeah, it's a teamwork at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think
It's a teamwork.
as you mentioned, City, time management, you're saying the support that is required. I think these all play a very, very important role. And what else?
And also, like, I would say just introduce new activities and expand your business at a pace you are comfortable with.
Yeah.
And to not like overpressure yourself and get into a situation where it's just time consuming to a point where it begins to defeat the whole purpose of why you had stepped down from a full-time job, you know, for example, in that sense. So it shouldn't overwhelm you. And in fact, this is where and why I like to specifically use the term mumpreneur, because it constantly reminds me that, hey, I have a priority. There is mom before the preneur.
I respect that.
And also, like, I try to maybe involve my kids, at least my eldest son, at least, in some of the activity I do. So if I'm busy in the kitchen, I'll maybe keep him occupied, with a few pots and pans.
Well, that's very good. So getting your kids introduced to business before they got, before they graduate from school. That's really good. I really like that, Ilham, mashallah. Okay.
And, sometimes you feel guilty maybe not spending enough time with them on the busy days. So you just try to make up for it and treat them. I mean, my son and my husband, actually, they both love the berries I use to decorate my cake. So I make sure to treat them for every order I have,
Okay, mashallah, lovely. We're going to talk about you being a mumpreneur. I'm going to go about that later at the program today itself. And also about the nice cakes that you have, because I saw about your cakes, mashallah, Ilham. They're very, very nice, and I'm sure they're very delicious as well. Now, talking about the mumpreneur, I just want to look at the other side. What about dadpreneur? I don't know whether the term is out there or not. I'm just asking that because mumpreneur was really new to me. And I've learned, and I'm learning, and I'm sure others are learning as well from what you shared today. What about dadpreneur then, Ilham?
I'm not quite sure how popular the term is.
So it is there.
I love the sound of it. As a matter of fact, I believe you don't have to wait for mainstream to coin a term suitable for you. If you want to refer to yourself as a dadpreneur, by all means, I respect that and I love it. It reminds the daddies of the very important role they have as dads. It's an element of pride, priority, and just to remind them that no matter how busy into their business they are still dads in the end of the day. So I think it's a proud title to carry in that sense. I think I made up a new term, cakepreneurs. I'm not sure if it exists in Google or no.
Okay. But have you put a copyright to that, Ilham? Because I tell you one thing, I meant what I said at the beginning of the show. I remember the creative things that you do, mashallah, and I'm sure you're doing a lot of great creative stuffs as well. But have you put a brand onto that? Because if you don't, we've got a lot of listeners over there. By all means, I mean,
be my guest. In fact, I like subcategorizing the entrepreneur identity.
Okay.
It's a good way to identify yourself and to network with other entrepreneurs of similar interests.
Okay.
Plus, it's a catchy term which draws a lot of attention, and some businesses wouldn't want to miss out on.
Yeah, inshallah. What about, aren't any, or maybe they should create some kind of a forum of mumpreneurs coming to sit together, meet and talk, or what about even an event altogether? Maybe something, having an event, having a forum where people come and sit together and speak about their experiences, their challenges, and the different activities that they have. Do you know any other mumpreneurs that are available in Oman? Or is this something, is this a growing trend in Oman? I know globally it is, but what do you think in Oman? Is it a growing activity where mums are entrepreneurs?
Well, Like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, it is pretty much, a new term for an old concept. So yes, in Oman, I'm sure the mompreneurs existed a very long time ago.
Nice.
I'm not actively in the department of organizing these kind of networking opportunities.
Okay.
Yet, having said that, I believe quite a few already exist under different names and based on different interests. But yeah, I think it's part of the culture without even realizing actually that people are involved in that
Beautiful.
activity.
That's really nice. Ladies and gentlemen, the number to call in is 24602058. I'll repeat again. That's 24602058 if you have any questions pertaining to our subject today. Meanwhile, we're going to take a quick break before we continue our session today. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tariq al-barwani along with our studio engineer DJ Ayub on Oman Radio FM 90.4. Our guest today is Ilhaam Al Maskery, a mompreneur herself, and the subject today is on momprenurship. Of course, we spoke about the definition, we spoke about the benefits, the challenges, and we've also looked into the ways one could overcome the challenges. Ilhaam, you are a mompreneur, طبعا, and could you please share with us at what age did you start the entrepreneurship journey?
As you say, being here over 10 years ago in this studio, I'd say from a very young age. I was at some level intrigued by the world of business.
Okay.
Before I even recognized the term entrepreneur. I actually recall my first business, and you wouldn't know this. I was collecting and selling pebbles from a cliff where I once lived.
Wow, mashallah, mashallah.
Its success or failure, I'll spare you, but what I do remember was my first and only customer was my grandmother, whom I owe a lot to, because it instilled in me a confidence and hope to continue exploring the business world.
Okay.
I still remember that 1 riyal I sold her a conglomerate of tiny pebbles held together by a dollop of cement.
Okay, mashallah, mashallah.
Eventually, during my teens, with the hype of the internet being introduced in Oman, I was eager to explore that department.
If you don't mind me, just go one step back. At what age were you when you were collecting the pebbles and selling it to your grandmother?
I was in low elementary, so I don't know, 3rd grade.
Okay, mashallah, mashallah. That's very good. That's very good.
Yeah.
But it's definitely before you graduated from the university or the school. So that's amazing.
Way before. After I graduated kindergarten.
Yeah, mashallah. Okay.
So, yeah, as I was saying, during my teens, I spent countless hours in front of the computer and asking my parents to drive and escort me to companies, trying to look for sponsorship, trying to get into the whole, the business.
Whole .com world, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And eventually I managed to design and develop Oman's first online classifieds portal, alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah.
I learned a lot about IT, computers,
business as well, I'm sure.
Programming, web designing, businesses, online businesses. And towards my final year of high school, somehow my interest in that department started to decline. Okay. And with the demands of final year high school, I decided to that just came to a long pause.
Okay. I remember actually, in fact, you had a site by the name of ilham.net. I don't know whether you remember that. Yeah, you had Oman Classifieds and Ilham.net, because I remember vividly, because I remember reading even in the newspapers. Okay, I mean, you know, it's WizKid, Ilham the WizKid, mashallah. Ilham, tell me one thing. Do you feel it was a waste of time for you to get into the whole journey and learning about the different things that you've learned, or was there any learning that you got? What's your feedback about that?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, I don't know, people to this day still assume I'm into IT, or that's the part of my life they remember. Okay. No, I don't regret not continuing down that path. In fact, I'm very grateful that I figured out at an early age what my interests are, instead of figuring it out after I pursued it as a profession.
Okay.
I enjoy the learning experiences. So yeah, I'm grateful for that part of my life. No regrets. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Illy Kitchenette, that is your business today. You are a mompreneur, and that is what you are doing right now. Could you please share a bit about Illy Kitchenette? How did it start? Where is it today? And what are you doing about it?
Okay. Well, it all started when I felt homebound with my first baby, and the only way to keep busy was being indoors was my most convenient option. So I started getting curious in the kitchen.
Okay.
And was inspired by my mother's passion fruit cake, which remains an all-time favorite specialty of Illy's Kitchenette.
MashaAllah.
One thing led to the other, one experiment to the other, and I decided to give it a shot. Most of my cooking attempts and baking were in a little kitchenette, and that's where the name comes from.
Little kitchenette.
Yeah, and I still continue to bake from a kitchenette.
Okay, where is this kitchenette right now? Is it in your house?
It's home-based. It's always been home-based.
Okay, that's very, very nice. And what kind of what do you serve in the kitchenette?
Illy's Kitchenette is like a home-based catering which specializes in mainly finger food. Okay. And a few specialty cake and dishes. Yeah. I think the most popular items in the menu are the passion fruit cake topped with like strawberry icings,
okay.
Spinach ricotta pizzas, a variety of scones such as pesto parmesan scones, some panna cottas. I do homemade strawberry ice cream, diabetic ice cream as well. I try to focus on items which aren't readily available, in the market. So it's pretty much a niche I got going there. I also do some customized presentation arrangements as well for certain events.
Okay, that is in the areas of catering and foods, and is that right?
Yes. So I do catering. I deliver food, take care of the arrangements if that is requested by the customer again. Yeah. So I actually call it a customized service, and that varies from customer to customer. I mean, every day, like a new person would ask for a new service, which I may have not thought of or done before, and then I just add it to the list of services I do.
Oh, that's nice. So who are your customers? I mean, what are your customers as? Is it people are from the is it family members? Is it people from the company? Is it people from the government?
It is friends, and I would say like certain events hosted by organizations, colleges, and word of mouth again. And because I focus mainly on finger foods, I cater mostly for like morning brunches, coffee mornings, or afternoon teas.
Oh, nice. So now I know where to get for our own businesses, our own events, where to go for. We have people who are doing the activities, which is Ilham, mashallah, at Ilham Kitchenette, to go for the very beautiful cakes that you have and tasty ones. When did you start this? Was it immediately? I know you're working right now. I have been working, Ilham. Did you decide to do this when you felt that, for instance, you're at home and you have extra energy and you wish to utilize the energy to do business? How did it all happen?
Oh, well, like I say, I had just given birth to my first son. I felt homebound. It's a new experience. And I was obviously off work at the time, so I was determined to add a bit of flavor to the typical routine of taking care of a child. And I thought, what better opportunity than to start exploring the kitchen, and that's how. So I think in 2011 my first son was born, and so was Illy's Kitchenette, and they grow together proportionally.
So you now have 3 kids, right?
2 kids.
The kitchen as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, is that right?
Blood is heavier than business.
Now, to start the business, the Illy Kitchenette, usually when someone wants to start a business, and you need money. All right, to start a business, you need money. That's normally. How did you go about that? The ways, of course, to start a business, one of the traditional ways is to go to a bank and ask for a loan. The other one is get support from the family. The third one is probably get some investors if there are some venture capitalists that are available. The other one is if you have your own money. Now, how have you started the business?
For me, it was pretty much just from my own savings.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you had your own savings and you said, no, it's not time. But did you think about the business before having putting your money on the side so you could put the money into the business, or was it something that you already had some money and then you just clicked on your mind, I would like to have a business?
No, I've always had savings, the way anyone would have their savings. Yeah. I knew I'll use it maybe for investment purposes and other things, but I never thought I would use it for this particular activity. As a matter of fact, even if I thinking about going into business,
yeah.
I didn't imagine it would be in this department, and until one day, I tasted my mom's passion fruit cake, and it was just too good to not be out there, and I decided, you know what, Mom, I have to market this, know.
Mashallah. And you believe, and it is very important to be passionate.
And she made it so easy. It made it sound so easy, to be able to do that. Yeah. So I was very much encouraged, and I think I just decided on the spot I'm doing this, and without even telling her, I just went to the kitchen, had a few experiments, I tried to perfect it, and I sent her the pictures and said, this is my business, Mom,
Wow, mashallah. I'm sure your mom and your family members are listening and very proud of you, Ilham, mashallah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, and a lot of other family members contributed significantly.
Yeah.
And I thank my husband and my parents-in-law for all the tasting and criticisms, my grandmothers. I wouldn't say I haven't really poisoned them at any point, but I think they've been patient with a whole load of experiments.
So do you think family members play an important role as your first customers in a business, specifically Mumpreneur kind of a business?
Definitely, especially if that particular family member is their expertise is relevant to your business. So my mothers are very, very good in the kitchen and with cooking. They're amazing recipes, so we learn a lot from them, get a lot of advice from them. My husband is a man of fine taste, and he also likes being in the kitchen, so he is nice. My biggest criticizer.
Okay.
And
but I'm sure a supporter as well, man. I'm sure
and supports a lot of the dishes have gone back and forth before eventually.
Is he a dead preneur?
He very much is so. And I am exceptionally lucky to have a dadpreneur.
Okay, so that's the definition
in every sense of the word dad and preneur.
That's a definition. We coined it already with an example, mashallah. I'm sure he's listening to our program today and very, very proud as well. Now, we're going to take a quick break before we continue our sessions and specifically look at how are you marketing it. And now I want to look at how are you linking the experience from your IT background that you have had, which is not a waste now, and how you were able to utilize that knowledge to market your business, which is Illy Kitchenette. We're going to take a quick break before we continue our session today. Okay, welcome back to Knowledge Talks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host Tariq al-barwani, along with our studio engineer DJ Ayub and Sheikh Hatim as well, and with you here live at Oman Radio FM 90.4. Our topic today is about Mumprenurship, and our guest is Ilhaam Al Maskery. Before the music break, we talked about how are you marketing the business. But before I go into how are you marketing your business, you mentioned about your husband being a dadpreneur as well, and you being a mumpreneur. Is there any relation by any chance? Apart from you guys being married, of course.
Coincidentally, interestingly enough, there is.
Okay.
One of the activities he's involved in is the supplying of baking ingredients, pastry needs, cocktail syrups, and so he's a supplier, and nice. I'm a caterer, meaning I utilize his products, and
nice.
So that works very well for us in that sense. He goes by the name Tetra.
Okay.
Tetra, and you could find him on Instagram, Tetra TATRA_CS Oman, just to have an idea of what kind of product he supplies, because there is a large cake business community out there whom I feel could very much utilize.
Okay, that's really nice. So that's the relation with you guys, and I think it plays a very important role, because he supports what you're doing, you support what he's doing, and you guys make the best out of it. That's very interesting to know. Now, you said when you came up with this business, it's because out of the passion, and then you of course shared it with your mom. She was very happy. Shared it with your family. They all were your first customers, and they were happy. And now you went out and you're sharing it to. I know you're doing it for companies, and also you are doing it for different events that are out there. How are you marketing it?
Predominantly via social media and some chatting applications, e.g. WhatsApp.
Wow.
Which I believe play a pivotal role in the success of marketing any business these days. And
you don't pay anything for it.
I mean, you're reaching audiences whom otherwise you wouldn't known existed.
Yeah.
It's an excellent platform to communicate to the mass for feedback purposes, and it saves a lot of money. It saves you time. It saves from hassle. It's just a fantastic tool and a fun way of marketing.
That's nice. So you're using the WhatsApp as the social media tool, and you also are using Instagram, because I saw you have an account in Instagram. Right?
Yes, you could find me at Illy's Kitchenette. That's ILLYSKITCHENETTE.
Okay. That's nice. And do you use any other social media platforms like the Facebook, Twitter, or you think the Instagram?
I do have a Facebook group for my Illy's Kitchenette as well.
Oh, that's nice. And how do you compare the two of them, the Instagram and the Facebook, in terms of the audience, the interaction with your customers, and so on?
Oh, Instagram for me is definitely more interactive than Facebook.
Yeah.
And I think the reason for that, one of the reasons could be, is that I actually have a Facebook group and not a Facebook page.
Okay.
Which I understand is also a big difference.
Yeah, with a page and the group is more specific people, but page is more of an wider audience. In fact, I was speaking to one of a very close friend and a partner. I told them that they should jump into Instagram, because I felt Instagram has, I think, more users, more interactivity, and more things happening rather than Facebook. I don't know, for some reason I see that Facebook is dying. That's personal opinion, although Facebook has bought, by the way, Instagram. But you're happy with your Instagram account, and you communicate, and you time on a periodical basis you update your Instagram account, right?
Yes, I try to make it a point every once in a while to introduce new items to the menu, and just to keep people coming back to.
Okay, that's very nice. That's very nice. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. An easy and effective ways to market your product online. And here is Ilham, mashallah, an entrepreneur. Well, put it this way, a mumpreneur herself, that is utilizing the medium effectively to speak about the product and service she has. Now, Ilham, I know about you have an event. That's what I read about it, and that's what I would like you to speak about. Can you tell us more about the event that you're coming up with? Is this your first event that you're doing?
Yes and no. I've hosted several events in the past, ranging from summer activities. This is during the days I was still in school. I just always enjoyed organizing events, I guess. Again, from a young age, I call up a group of friends and families to the house, arrange different games and activities. Growing up, that moved on to things like baby bridal showers, but that was all pretty much a hobby. So I decided to take it to the next level, and here I am hosting and presenting the Muscat Cake Show, which is my first upcoming event.
Nice.
The motive of this event is to encourage a trend in cake creativity and and to give recognition to some home businesses which otherwise wouldn't always be in the spotlight. So amongst the highlights of this event is the cake decorating, cake tasting competition, some live demonstrations on how to decorate cakes, and some exclusive discount of baking products and ingredients as well. We also have some expert judges in the field who will be judging the best, or the first, second, third prize cake winners. And from the dried lemon, we have expert chefs Amal Al-Khabouri and Salim Al-Kalbani.
Okay.
And
Nice.
also an apron design contest for those enthusiastic about fashion. So
Wow. That's
Yeah.
that's going to be an interesting event, inshallah, Ilham. Ilham, any message you wish to share before the end of our session today?
yes. I would say with when it comes to like people thinking about whether or not they should pursue the mompreneurship path or no, do it at a pace you're comfortable with, and you may realize it is not your thing, or you may find yourself getting too carried away. Know your priorities. Identify your interests and talents, capitalize, enjoy, and try to work out a support network. Very important, whether at home or by speaking to other mompreneurs. There's a lot of wisdom to carry, and to reflect on others' experiences and challenges, and how they managed it all.
Okay, that's very nice, Ilham. Ilham, thank you very much for joining us today on Oman FM 90.4 to share about your knowledge and experience on mompreneurship and how moms today can do business at home. I would like to take this opportunity to wish you the very best and success in all you do, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Tariq. Pleasure was mine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our program for this week. I hope you all had an intriguing time with us. Let us catch up again next week on Tuesday, same time from 5:30 p.m. for a knowledge session. I'm Tariq al-Barwani along with our studio engineer DJ Ayub, wishing you all a happy and a pleasant weekend. Ma'a salama.